Hey, it's Jonathan here from Mindful Communication, and in today's video, I'm going to take you through the #1 tool to make you more likable. There are lots of ways to make people like you. You can buy them candy, you can do nice favors for them, but there's actually an amazing communication tool, one tool to rule them all, that you can use in your communication to have people like you more. Stay tuned for this video to find out how. So how do we become more likable? Well, we all want to be more likable, right? We all want to be liked by the people that we love in our life. So it's no surprise you're watching this video, and I'm here to deliver this amazing communication tool that's going to have you be more likable. Before we get started, there is something to know about this tool. And although it's one tool, there's actually 3 different ways you can use it. So we're talking about a 3-for-1 deal. How about that? So let's start diving in on what this tool is and what are the different ways that you can use it. So the tool that I want to talk about is called reflective statements. Now, reflective statements are when we reflect back what we heard the other person say. It's a pretty basic communication technique, and I promise you, it is the #1 communication technique that you want to master in order to be more likable. You're going to notice that if you go around and start reflecting back what people are saying to you, that people are going to feel more understood around you. They're going to feel more heard, more seen by you. And ultimately, they're going to like you for it. Now, let's actually dive into the 3 different ways that you can use this tool in your conversations. The first version of this tool is called mirroring. Now, mirroring is pretty much what you think it is. We're going to mirror back what it is that the other person is saying. This is also known as parroting in some circles. It's, again, we're kind of verbatim saying exactly what it is that the other person said. Mirroring is very useful for when we're having a conversation and we want to reflect back very short statements. Maybe they're not giving us long answers, they're saying very short things, and we want to make sure that they know we got them. The way we do that is we just say what it is that we heard them say. So for example, they might say, well, I don't want to go out for dinner tonight. And then you can say, okay, so you don't want to go out for dinner tonight. It's pretty simple, right? And although it may seem in this video kind of condescending, kind of like we're talking down to them, it actually makes a huge difference. And people really appreciate when you repeat back those short things that they said. The second version of this reflective statements tool is called summarizing. As you could have guessed, this tool is all around summarizing what it is that we heard them say. And this is particularly useful when they're saying lots of things, when they're giving us long, drawn-out answers. What we really want to do is we want to kind of grab the essence. We want to boil it down to the few key points that it is that they're saying so that they know that we heard exactly what it is that they were trying to get across to us. So for example, they might be telling you all about a situation that happened at work. And what you might say to that is, so what you're trying to say is because you handed in the report early, now your whole team is being celebrated by the company. What I'm doing in that example is even if the person explained to me a lot of different things, gave me a long drawn out story, I'm still kind of boiling down the key points, the key takeaways that will make sure that they know I understood them. And that is a major tool that's going to have you be more likable. Now, the third version of this tool is all around the word commitments. What this means is that you want to start doing a deeper level of listening. So when they're talking to you, what I want you to listen for is what is it that they're committed to? What values are they committed to? What is really important to them that they're trying to say underneath what it is that they're actually saying? Now, this version of the tool takes a lot of practice, and it's not always going to be very obvious. But I assure you that when most people are speaking, when they're saying something, there is a commitment that they have underneath. And if you actually repeat back that commitment, it's going to really make sure that they feel heard and understood, and you better believe they're going to like you for that. So a great example about this is they might be talking about a situation at work where they handed this report in early, and because of that, they're being celebrated by the company. What you might say is, wow, I so got that you're really committed to doing amazing work at work and really being celebrated at work is really important to you. See, what I'm doing is I'm listening for the commitment underneath what it is that they're saying. When you say what it is that the person can't quite describe in words, there's this magical moment that kind of comes over them. This kind of like, yes, you get it. That's what we're really going for. And it's gonna have people like us way more if we're able to lock down on what it is that they're actually committed to. Now, I do have a bonus tip for you. And this applies to the tool in totality. So whether you're mirroring, whether you're summarizing, or whether you're talking about their commitments, you can use this tip. And that tip is to ask afterwards. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, after you summarize, after you mirror them, or after you take a go at finding out what their commitments are underneath what it is that they're saying, you want to check in with them. You don't want to assume that you're right. And so what that looks like is you can say something like, oh, so you're really excited about that, is that right? By asking that question, is that right? What I'm doing is I'm checking in with them. I'm just making sure that I actually got it right. Because we don't want to step down this path where maybe I didn't get it right. If I didn't get it right, they might start turning the conversation around to be about the fact that I didn't get that right. And a conversation that was initially going really well can go sour very quickly. And so it's really important that you check in. Is that right? Did I hear that correctly? Am I understanding what it is that you're trying to say? Any of those ways of checking in and making sure that you understood them correctly is going to make a huge difference in your communication and ultimately your likability. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a big old like to make sure that other people find this video as well, and make sure to leave a comment to the question, which tool do you think is going to be the most useful for you to be more likable? You can also find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can also check out the Mindful Communication podcast, where I interview thinkers, influencers, and experts all around the realm of communication and the art and science of how we connect and relate to one another. And if you want to take on improving your communication skills, make sure to get in touch with me through my website. You'll find the link for that and everything else in the description. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you next time.